Hey there, friends, back from the range. I'm going to be covering the Taurus G3C versus the GX4 Carry versus the new Taurus GX2 and give you my thoughts on the differences between them. Why am I doing this? Well, because I carried this more than any other pistol, and I have quite a few and more expensive in 2024. I can really perform with the GX4 Carry, and I like the specs. Got this. I think this is a great loaner. Most of the women that I teach for the first time, they like the G3C quite a bit. And for a brand new shooter, this trigger system maybe still is slightly better. We'll get to that in a bit. And Taurus rep told me they were going to send one out January 1st. I know this is later than, other videos, but that never happened. I went ahead and just gave in and bought one myself and got it to the range 2 days. So I'll tell you how that goes. Of course, I didn't just want the black. I wanted the cool stainless steel. I would have liked the gray frame stainless, probably the best. But this is the one that I found on a great deal. And so here we go. Here's the specs on both of them, or all three of them. The G3C is 22 ounces unloaded. Loaded 12 plus 1 is 27.5. That's 12 plus 1 of 124 grain ammo. The GX4 Carry is 21.5 ounces unloaded, 28 ounces loaded, 15 plus 1 with McGar magazines, which are higher quality magazines. This I was hoping would weigh less, given the data of 19 ounces. Apparently, that's without the magazine. So everyone's been quoting that. That's without the magazine. It's 21.4 ounces, even though it has a shorter barrel and slide versus the 21.5 on the GX4 Carry. So I am a little disappointed. I thought I would, that it as a summer carry. I mean, it still may do that job quite well, but I was hoping it was a little bit lighter. And, Taurus on their sites and the websites and even the Brazilian videos don't give the weight without a magazine in it. But I digress. Things started with the GX4 Carry. Oh, empty and clear. G3C. Sorry, the G2C originally. This is going to be the replacement, and it's already started in Brazil, of the G2C. So the GX2 is the replacing of the very old G2C series. G3 series had updates. The trigger's a bit different. This is the G3C. You got this long take up, and I have other videos that maybe this is a very good gun for beginners, a lot of women, and new shooters. They like, it's kind of the right size, perfect weight, everything, even for me, and I wear an XL glove. It is still, and I tested it today, one of the most natural point shooters there are, and quite a steal coming with 3 12-round magazines that all have the pinky base extender, which I need on it. Has good, very good texture down here. Has the thumb support there, but no texture up there, and it did have early memory pad. So I still shoot this really good, one-handed or two-handed. This is a good handgun, and it's a good smaller kind of, for smaller hands, but still have enough weight that it doesn't recoil that bad. Now, then I went ahead and I got this GX4 Carry, cerakoted. And I love this thing. I love the way it feels in my hand. Some people don't like the hump being this big, but it does have the interchangeable back straps, small, medium, large. I don't know if I even bothered. I got the medium on it, and I like it, and it kind of helps me keep the muzzle down the way that the rear palm swell is on these pistols. Has perfect texture, perfect ergos. I want you to see how my hand chops in here, and I get all this meaty fat part of my support hand, which does a lot of the work here, making contact for very good recoil control for a lightweight, thin, macro sized pistol. I've never had the original smaller GX4. I wanted to check out the GX2. So, awesome texture. This is maybe a little more. This is more on the G3C. This is a little bit different style. This is still very good grip texture and up here, which is one of my biggest complaints. It also is easier to take down. This, you need like a coin or the little doohickey I got on my keychain. to take the slide off. This you do not, though it's pretty stiff and you got to like push it forward, make this come out while you pull the trigger, and it kind of works sometimes and not all the time. But there you go. So my first whole magazine, I did just point shooting with this because that's something I praised about this in my old point shooting video. You might want to look at Dan the Wolfman point shooting. I've done quite a few videos improving it on the range. And I used to use this, with a laser cartridge. Not that you should do a billion and eventually could hit, you're putting reps on the striker spring. But this did have the restrike capability, so that's nice light pull but long distance for safety, and then you could restrike. So actually, eventually someday I will buy the battery that has gone out on my laser cartridge years ago and maybe throw it back in there, and just don't care at this point. They're so cheap. The resale value stinks so bad now that they've been out. But even my LGS had this on a crazy sale this weekend. More expensive pistol. Comes with 2 of these beautiful McGar magazines. I talk about McGar a lot. They're really awesome. For my large hands, I think I probably shoot this as well as like a G19, quite frankly. So even though it's thinner and lighter, I shred on this. I did my first turbo pin Gabe White Standards immediate incapacitation with this. I like the green cerakote. The slide on this is okay-ish. The finish on the Taurus slides, regular black slides, are not the best. Also, I would prefer to get a stainless steel versus the black slide on the revolvers as well. But this one's okay. I have a Toro slide for this, and man, it got scuffed up just a few draws from the holster really bad. The finish applied didn't seem even as good as this one, but the green cerakote here I really like. It's just not optics ready. But you can buy a GX4 XL Toro slide. And guess what? Of course, I tested everything through this thing. So, first mag I did with 124 grain PPU. That's my training ammo. I buy, 1K when I find a good deal, or SMB. I don't really like 115, but this is like the hottest 115 that doesn't cost a whole bunch. So good for training as well. So I did both. Started off with 2 mags of 124 PPU, and perfect. Now, I do clean and lube my pistols, hand rack the slide 100 times before I take it to the range. And guess what? I never have problems, or almost never. And that's, something you should do, because it may have sat on a ship from Brazil and on docks in different weather and temperature with lube that coagulates. Take the slide off, put COP, clean the dang thing. I use socks, old socks. This comes with 2 magazines, but that weld there, perfect function, but quality-wise, not as good. Not as easy to load, and it seems like there might be issues, but I've had no issues, and every other reviewer hasn't had an issue either. So take that for what it's worth. This comes with 2 13s. The Carry comes with 2 15 McGar magazines. And this is still a good deal, 3 12s. Any of them are still a great deal if you, have a lockbox in your truck, or and you lock your vehicle very serious, so they got to get through 2 locks, things like that. Or, stainless steel slide for your shitter gun, because, you don't want to be taken out like Pulp Fiction. Okay, so there you go. They do have new color schemes, all kinds of stuff. Actually, kind of like the purple frame. Call it purple pain, baby. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little in my old age. And YouTube stopped censoring me. So, still okay, but the bore axis is a bit higher, and I did feel it when shooting one-handed. So I did a lot of one-handed shooting today. In weeks I had only one-handed shooting as well. They're all very good natural pointers. I think this is did everything that the G3c G3C series had. Better ergos. It kind of makes me want to pull down. I think that helps in recoil. It has the memory pads. This has a safety. But my hands are big. So this is a better handgun for me. Probably will perform better shooting one-handed than this. This is a hands gun for all that space to get this. Very high performance. But it's taller. So I can conceal it, but yeah, with certain shirts like the one I wanted to wear after the range to Chili's to eat dinner. Not that I drink, but I do sit in the bar area and, drink my Coke Zero and water. It's taller. So you give up 2 rounds capacity, but this is going to print more than this. And so especially if you're smaller, and even for me, like summer wear, just a t-shirt, this will conceal better. It just will. It's not as tall. This is pretty tall for a 15 rounder. I think with that, the bottom, the way that it is, I think this is actually taller than the G19, but it's lightweight and it's thin. Let's talk about the slides. This slide is the thickest. This slide is the thinnest. And this slide thickness, I believe, is in between. But that is external dimensions. They all fit the same slide rails. So that's one reason Taurus is able to come in on the price points that they are, is because they're taking something proven and they're applying it to GX4, now GX4 Carry, and then they're applying it to the GX2. So even though this is a thicker slide, it does not fit in my GX4 Carry holsters. It is a thicker slide. The frame rails are the same. So then I'm shooting this two-handed, and it's great. And then I go to the third mag, and now I'm like, I'm going to get wild, baby. I put in the GX4 Carry magazine. Perfect function. Okay, now I switch to 115 SMB. Perfect function, everything. Then I'm like, okay, well, let's put the slide on it. So I put this slide on this pistol. GX4 Carry, longer 3.7 inch versus the 3.38 or 3.39, depending on the Brazilian stuff, of this slide and barrel here. But it is the same barrel, it's just chopped. Like, I looked at it, it looks identical. This is different, but this is identical. There you go. Performed great. Then I'm like, okay, put this slide on, but put on the longer barrel. So the 3.7 inch sticking out a little bit. Maybe I want, perhaps slightly better ballistics. Here, maybe even in the future, Taurus, you could take this barrel you're already making, and I don't know, I think it might be long enough sticking out to thread, and I'll give a threaded barrel GX2. I bet a lot of people would like a threaded barrel GX2. So there is that. Sights are the same. Sights work great. All three have sparkly orange nail polish in it, and that helps my eyes and picking it up fast. And it did great. So it also functioned fine with the longer barrel and the shorter slide. It functioned good with all the magazines. It functioned perfect with everything. Handgun versus handsgun. For me, this is a handsgun. For the bigger guy, the guys that wanted to check it out, one had bigger hands than me. He pocket carries the original GX4. He's been thinking about this. I'm like, dude, come check it out. You're going to like this. Perfect. This, I don't have the space to get my other hand without opening up my thumb, which means I actually adjusted my draw to draw like a 1911 guy, though I don't put the safety on. I don't really like external safeties. I sweep it here. It opens up the space as I draw and I open it up. And I shot it really, really well. But there's something to be said about good texture, good ergos, that even this, I had a video Glock sucking compared it to this, has the memory, has the better texture, has metal sights. Like the G3C is superior in so many ways, even to a Gen 5 Glock. It's not funny. So they nailed ergos better than a lot of different companies. And which one you like probably will depend on its hand size. For most people, for ease of concealment and for being able to shoot it one-handed and for feeling kind of the right size, if you don't have an XL hand like me, if you have a regular medium glove or you're a typical not obese female, though there's very few of those left in the U.S., it's a little too small for me. Now, did I carry it tonight? Yeah. Did I already carry it with Winchester White Box hollow points in it? Yeah, because I tested it with 3 hollow points too. As my preliminary test. That was just tonight. 2 chilies. I think I survived. I'm okay. But, yeah, did great. So let's look at a couple of the targets. Tactical did provide the holster long ago because I thought I was getting this, when all the other YouTubers were, or close to it, right? Anyway, good holster. Now, I do prefer GCC clips, and I wish they had that option for monoblock, and I've swapped them out, I think, on one of them. I need to on a couple others, but, like, it works. It works right, and they're very affordable. Tactical. Taurus, I think, sells them on Shop Taurus and all that kind of thing. So, let's look at the target. This is my last target. This is doing... No, this is not my last target. I was doing 2 targets and doing transitions, and this is like point shooting at 3 yards, and that's why there's a couple here, like doing bent elbow technique and just shoulder extension point shooting, no sights, 5 yards and 7 yards Gabe White standards, and 12 yards immediate incapacitation. So I'm already nailing. I mean, that's why there's some low ones. That's 12 yards and not typical 7 yards. Doing draw to quick 2 headshots. But I mean, really, really good here. You see a lot are in the A+ box on the heart and spine. And yeah, I don't think you can ask for better than that. And a lot of them I was transitioning double taps or triple taps, left, right, right, left, and doing some moves and beaks as well. So this is like a bunch of other stuff. This is my final target. And I think I was mostly doing 7 yards, so I was pulling a little left when I was working on one target, not just transitions. A little left, but I mean, you know, hitting 5 here in the heart, 6 here in the heart, that's pretty good. In the lungs, that's pretty good. And look at those headshots, though. I am usually better with headshots. So as the trigger's breaking in, it has that defined wall. I was pulling a little, though, left. These are the first 3 accuracy shots. After all this, I did with the SMB 115. I pulled a couple low, 1, 2, and 3. Then I did hollow points. Winchester white box, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty dang good. Then I did the PPU hollow points, which now we have another YouTuber, not only my friend Gunsam, but Tools and Targets did it from 2 barrel lengths, and the PPU did surprisingly well. And, you know, so the PPU did, hollow points did really good. And then the Panther, I don't know. I was scared it was going to blow the gun up. I don't know who makes this. Got it cheap. Made in America, 124 grain, no velocity on the box. No YouTubers seem to have any videos on it and even anything on forums. So I picked it up because it was cheap, and I like to cycle different hollow points to function test pistols. That's just my preliminary test before I start doing HSTs and punching it to finish vetting. So what do I think of the Taurus GX2? I think it's a great replacement of the G3C. I think that, let's look at the trigger. So it was pretty stiff. It's probably breaking in a bit. It does have this trigger dingus, unlike a 365 or a 320 that you drop and that wants to shoot your nuts off. And a nice defined wall, which is better for most people because most people are not very experienced. It's a better trigger system. So that's good, and the size-wise, I think, is perfect for most people. A little small for me, unless you like carrying the safety. I've only put it on twice with this slide. Another YouTube channel says it deactivated the safety. It actually did put the safety on. Maybe it's sometimes yes, sometimes no. I don't know. I've also started halfway to put the G3 slide on this, but I didn't want to get it stuck because it's a different trigger system. I didn't know. I didn't put it all the way on, but it is the same slide rails. So recoil right away, even one-handed, this does control recoil really, really well. In fact, I think it might be better than the other two. I'd have to do more with it, but I actually feel like it's balanced and everything and not as much slide mass down. The recoil was very light, even the first shots with a brand new recoil spring, which, by the way, the recoil spring is like GX4 length with a plastic spacer on the end. Will this be a 30,000 round durable gun? I don't know. Will it be a 7,000 round durable gun? Probably. Do most people do 7,000 rounds? Probably not. Most of you probably won't either if you own multiple pistols, but certainly if you want your first or you're on a budget, I think this is good to go. I got it because it found a place on sale, no sales tax, and supposed to get 2 boxes of critical defense. And I think they extended that now all the way to the end of May. It was originally April, but my code and my serial don't work for that, and they don't work for the they don't work on the site to do the warranty within 30 days. So I got to call and deal with Taurus CS and see if I get my 2 boxes of ammo. So that's weird that it's not in the system, either of their systems or website pages anyway, to match the serial, the UPC. It's like my serial doesn't exist on their system yet. So that kind of sucks. It's still a super deal. Dahlonega, Georgia's a cool place. And, you know, Taurus is made in Georgia, and Dahlonega, Georgia's really cool when you don't want to pay tax and stuff and get the lowest prices on stuff. That's just what I find. Hopefully, by the time you see this, maybe you can get the 2 boxes of critical defense. I think you should get 124 punch, or better yet, 124 plus PHST. But, you know, it's a good deal for people on a budget. So there you guys go. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the comments down below. Which one looks the coolest? And I hope this helped you out. Kaboom.